Hello, my name is Philippa Langley. This short series of films has been done in celebration of the first 100 years of research, the centenary of the Richard III Society. It is one of the oldest and largest historical societies in the world. We hope that you enjoy them. Thank you. Since the Richard III Society is a historical society, we must look to contemporary documents to understand what happened in the past. You may still find the story of William Hastings as dramatised during the Tudor period by William Shakespeare, some 100 years later, taught in all our old school books. Historical research never stops, and important evidence tells a different story to Shakespeare. The execution of Hastings took place in June 1483, and there's only one report from 1483 that describes what happened. This was by Domenico Mancini, who was in London at the time making a record of events. Mancini reports what was said in the official proclamation. Its contents are confirmed by a contemporary document in the College of Arms. Another contemporary document from the Sealy papers shows that the writer had heard of the execution and was sharing concerns in case there had been threats to the 12-year-old king and other leading royals, including England's protector, Richard of Gloucester. However, reports say that after it was proclaimed that the Hastings threat was foiled, everything returned to normal, and there was no unrest of the kind imagined. Mancini hadn't been present himself, of course, but recorded what he found out. Hastings had been observed having private meetings beforehand with certain other key figures, the ones who were with Hastings when they were all arrested later. So Richard of Gloucester had already been forewarned of possible trouble and had sent for help from the north, where he lived. And Richard's letters still exist. On the 13th of June, he held a council meeting in the Tower. Among those present were Hastings and those other figures. Fortunately, Richard of Gloucester was prepared for trouble when it happened, so he had knights of the realm nearby, ready to respond to his call. The conspirators were duly arrested when they attempted an attack on Richard of Gloucester with concealed weapons that they'd been carrying. A number of people were arrested. It wasn't just Hastings targeted as Shakespeare imagined the scene. Hastings, as the ringleader, was the only one executed. The others were arrested and later released. Hastings' co-conspirator, Bishop John Morton, would be offered a pardon, but he absconded to the continent, where he would join the cause of a Lancastrian rebel, Henry Tudor. Richard of Gloucester at this time was High Constable and Protector of England, the leading figure in the government in charge of homeland security. By precedent, an attempt on the Protector's life was treason. The immediacy of the execution was probably because Hastings was famed for the large numbers of men sworn to his service and said to be one of the biggest forces of retained men in the kingdom. So the potential threat of mobilising that force had to be neutralised. This was not a murder carried out in secret. It was an execution for a crime which had been witnessed by all who had been present at the Tower that morning. Richard of Gloucester, as High Constable, had the authority to hold an on-the-spot trial for treason in his constable's court, which had far-reaching powers to empanel a jury to try, sentence on evidence presented, and order execution without appeal. Such were the public circumstances of the attack that there were lords present and knights of the realm nearby, and these were in the Tower and able to inform and form the necessary tribunal. Since he knew the matter was of sufficient public concern to warrant a proclamation, and since he had the authority to mount a trial, there are numerous evidences to demonstrate that Richard of Gloucester conducted the matter according to law. So thank you for watching. We hope that these have been helpful. And if you want to find out more about any of these subjects, please visit the Richard III Society website. Thank you.